Welcome along to episode 794 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we hear from Cannock Chase Drama Society about their production of Annie. We catch up with Matt Lim ahead of Wonder Boy appearing at the Grand Theatre and find out about his role as understudy Captain Chatter. Chris Collins will be joining us to let us know the latest on what he's up to at the Malvern Autumn Show. Dominic Rigatti lets us know about his latest music when he's working alongside Anne. We'll be talking to Jenny Ryan about her appearance at the Litchfield Garrick with her Out of the Box show, which is on the way on Wednesday. We'll be talking to the Fizzogs ahead of the Wicked Wisdom Fizzogs returning, and it's arriving in Halesowen at the Town Hall. Will Mellor lets us know about the gas safe register work that he's done recently, voicing some promotional videos for them, and also about his latest series on ITV. And we talk to one of the cast of Beetlejuice when Rupi Lal will be joining us too. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
With Gas Safety Week running through till the 15th of September, there's a new message coming out from the team. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Rob Denman, Head of Professional and Field Services at the Gas Safe Register, and by Will Mellor, actor and comedian. Hello to you both.
Hello. Hi, Jason.
So first of all, Will, tell us a bit about your involvement here, because this is a good part of the campaign which is going to draw attention.
Well, yeah, we've done 3 videos. It's on the Gas Safe Register YouTube channel, and I'm the voice of the video, and it's about a guy called Ali who's in situations where it's important that his gas works. So, like, he's got a date coming over, he wants to impress her, he's preparing dinner, and my voice is going, "Oh, what are you preparing? You got a date coming over? Cheeky spag bol, is it? Very romantic." And then better put it on, she'll be here soon. And then he switches it on, the gas doesn't work, and I'm like, "Oh, looks like a microwave meal for 2. Silly Ali." That kind of thing. It's a bit like tongue-in-cheek, bit of fun, but trying to get the message across is the gas will go at the worst possible time. So trying to encourage people to get it checked annually at least.
Yeah, and Rob, when it comes to it, the boiler is one of our favourite ones for breaking down. We're sad to say heading towards the winter months, which means that no doubt there'll be many thousands of people whose boiler hasn't been serviced this year that will suddenly find themselves with problems.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, looking out the window today, it's certainly got an autumnal feel to it. So I hope summer's not over and winter's come too early in autumn. But what we are saying here is a small investment now in a service safety check could potentially save you from thousands of pounds further down the road with a major repair bill for your boiler. I mean, we all take our gas boilers for granted that they're going to click on in the morning, give us heating and hot water, but they're complicated bits of kit and they need servicing and maintaining in the same way you service and maintain your car.
Yeah, because I mean, there will be some consumables in there. There'll be filters and things that need to be checked. Will, have you had your boiler done yet this year?
No. And do you know what the thing is? I've just got back off holiday just the other day, and it reminded me of a time when I did have a problem with my boiler, and that's why also I'm involved in this, because it's happened to me. I come back from my holiday in December. We went away with the family a couple of years back, and it was freezing here, so we went for a bit of winter sun. And when we come home, walked through the door, and the house was like a fridge. It was like there was a polar bear sat in my kitchen. It was freezing cold. The kids are looking at me to do something. I'm like, what? I can't do anything. And then the boiler's gone. Kids are in bed with coats on and, in the sleeping bags. And we're all together huddled up. And it was just like, when you come back off holiday, the last thing you want is the hassle of that. So, yeah, he's right. You just got to get it checked and, don't wait for it to go. So this is me talking to myself because I know I'm the type of person to go, well, I'm getting it checked. There's nothing wrong with it. I'd rather spend the 60 or 90 quid than spend the thousands it cost me when I got back from the holiday, if you know what I mean, to get a new boiler.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be maintained, got to be looked after, and you can avoid big bills. But we've made sure that we got the right people checking it out, Rob.
Yes, really important. So please do go to our Gas Safe Register website, gassaferegister.co.uk, or call our contact centre 0800 408 5500. Anybody who comes to your property to work on your gas appliance, whether that's a boiler, a cooker, a fire, they all need to be Gas Safe registered. They all have identification cards. Please don't be embarrassed to ask your engineer to show the card. They will show it with pride. And of course, it gives you that reassurance that the person that you have employed is gas safe registered and competent to work on your gas equipment.
Yeah, if you don't want anybody turning up and causing more damage due to the fact they're not qualified. And Will, I mean, a busy one for you as you head through towards Christmas. You got much going on that we need to be keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, I've got my new series starting on Monday, at the 9th of September, called The Teacher. You've probably seen it advertised on TV, and I was on the One Show talking about it. Yeah, it's me, Cara Taunton, Emmett Scanlon. It's an anthology. So the first one that went out was with Sheridan Smith a couple of years back, called The Teacher. It's on Channel 5. This is the same title, completely different story, about teachers who take some of their pupils on a school trip, and it goes horribly wrong. It's dark, twisted thriller that's on for 4 nights. Starts Monday, finishes Thursday. It's on every night. That'll be out on Monday.
The sort of fun thriller that you get to be involved with at the same time as avoiding the thriller of you knowing whether your boiler's going to work. So, one thing is, on the TV show, you can't help it. In real life, you can avoid the danger and the drama.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is a note to myself. That's what all this is about. It's reminding myself, because I do bury my head in the sand like a lot of people. And, it's always, you take things for granted, don't you? You turn your shower on, it's hot. You put your heater on, the radiators get warm. When they don't, it's a big problem. So get it checked. Don't wait for it to go wrong.
Absolutely. Rob, give us all those details again where we can find these videos, please.
Yeah, so the videos are available on the Gas Safe YouTube channel, but equally there's lots of excellent information, useful information on the gassaferegistered.co.uk website as well.
So do check out those details there. Get yourself a gas safe registered engineering, and make sure you don't end up with the problems that Will had when he got back from holiday and the entire house was a nightmare. I'm slightly concerned you did actually act like there was a polar bear in the kitchen just to keep the kids entertained as well.
Oh, yeah, I got us all sleeping in the same room. I was like, isn't this good? It's dead fun, isn't it? My daughter's going, my nose is cold. It's like, don't worry about it, right? Pretend you're Rudolph, right? You got to do the best what you can. Especially, I'm an entertainer. That's what I do.
We expect nothing less of you, to be fair, mate. Have a good one. Enjoy the work you got around this show coming up over the next 4 days, and have an absolutely brilliant one as we head through towards the Christmas period. And make sure, as we say, your boiler is in tip-top condition. Actor Will Mellor and Rob Denman from the team at Gas Safe Register, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Wonderboy is Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 3rd through to the 5th of October, looking at the story of Sonny, who's 12. He has got one friend who helps him through the world of the words that surround him. That is Captain Chatter. Now, he's a comic book hero in that case, and he's somebody that Sonny created himself. One of the people who will be bringing him to life on stage is the understudy for the role, and that is Matt Lim, who joins me now. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Now, one particular thing about you, first of all, is the fact you're from Wolverhampton. So you will be, no doubt, hopefully, understudying in your time when you're in the city, which is something now that would be absolutely brilliant. But tell us how the cast works. I mean, how many people do we see on stage during this show?
So we're a cast of 9, but 5 principals, and there'll be 4 understudies. So one of the understudies, Meg, has 3 tracks to cover. Everyone else has just the one character that they're focusing on. I don't know how the understudies are going to work. I don't know if we're going to sort of have an understudy run. I doubt that will happen. But there's a long period when we could be jumping on stage at any minute.
Are you part of an ensemble during the rest of the time, or do we only see you if there is an understudy?
No, it would just be. It's either Kieran or it'll be myself. So I won't be on stage if I'm not playing Captain Chatter.
Okay, so Captain Chatter, obviously an interesting character, and an important part of his world is the fact that he is speaking and using sign language at the and this not only makes this a very accessible production, but one where obviously the cast have to learn a script in more than one way.
Yeah, totally. So the show is about communication. So it's super interesting that Sonny, as a 7-year-old, creates this character where communication is sort of fluent and the meaning is always understandable without the need to sort of speak and stammer his way through. So that's really the challenge of this role, and integrating sort of not just BSL but physical movements, what we call visual vernacular. So using signs in a way that everyone will be able to understand what's going on. And the cast have been super great. We've got interpreters in the room, and yeah, very, very, as you said, interwoven that kind of accessibility into the creation of everything.
Yeah, I mean, telling the story of Sonny, I mean, many people have a variety of issues when it comes down to learning words, sounds, being able to recreate them. In the case of Sonny's stammer, obviously this is quite severe for them. And, you know, when you're approaching that, there will be kids in the audience and adults as well who may struggle with this sort of thing. And it is, enlightening to actually see a production which is not only inclusive in the way it comes across, but also in the way it tells the story that it gives some sort of hope to those who have had problems before, and it brings greater understanding too.
No, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that we were very clear to sort of portray is that the goal, if you like, for Sonny is not to overcome his stammer. It's not like fluency isn't the goal. I think that was quite important to state from the off. What is important is learning to live with the stammer and learning to communicate honestly and openly. And that means not hiding and not being ashamed of a stammer. And we did have a really good Zoom chat with Stammer, STAMMA, who the charity for people who are living with the stammer in the UK. And we got to really hear their experience and, really try to embed that in the show.
And the show itself not only will have sign language, but it'll also be live captioning. There is also dazzling visuals as well, but a lot of humour in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the script is absolutely mad. I received the script and I had to read it a couple of times before my audition. I was like, this is unlike anything I've ever read. And I went into the audition and Sally, the director, Sally's brilliant. And she said, "What did you think of the script?" And I was like, I love it, but I don't get it. I can't see how you're going to do this. And she was like, "Well, don't worry, that's our job." And as you said, the captioning is fantastic. Again, embedding accessibility, but it means that when you're learning your lines, you have to be really specific. And there's no room for gisting it, because everyone can see whether you've got that line right or wrong.
So more pressure on the performers, but in a good way. And I mean,
exactly.
From growing up in Wolverhampton, though, going to the Grand to see your first piece of theatre in the shape of the Panto, way back when Lisa Riley was with us a few years ago. This is all about your journey too, and it must be great to be part of the show. And you've done so much work along the way. But so coming back to your hometown for this one should be an enjoyable experience for you.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled to be coming back. As you said, my first live experience in the theatre was at the Grand. I've obviously grown up in Wolves, doing sort of local drama groups, the amateur drama groups, and then moving to London just after uni. So that was a whole culture shock. And then coming back to Wolves, and even when I work in Birmingham doing various films or stage pieces, it's always such a thrill to see how that's evolved in the West Midlands, because it wasn't really there growing up. If it was there growing up, maybe I wouldn't have had to have moved. But it's so exciting to see all these sort of networks and these theatres and companies like absolutely flourishing. It's really encouraging.
Well, it's something to look forward to having you in the city. As I say, fingers crossed. It's one of those days where one of your colleagues suddenly needs to be somewhere for a little while. So it should be good to see you around. It sounds like an amazing production. It is Wonder Boy by Ross Willis, Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre, from the 3rd through to the 5th of October. Get your bookings in quick. There are limited showings and performances here, so it is worth getting yourself along to grandtheatre.co.uk to book your tickets. 01902 429212 is the box office number, and there is a chilled performance at 2:30 on Saturday the 5th, if that is going to suit you and your accessibility needs. So worth looking out for this show. Matt Lim, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
From the 27th through to the 29th of September, the magic of Malvern returns with the RHS Malvern Autumn Show. Somebody who's going to be there sharing tips and tricks and making sure you know what you're up to in your garden is Chris Collins, who joins me now. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
All good here, and looking forward to what's going to be an absolutely amazing 3-day festival. Again, bringing so many opportunities, not only for people to look and explore and enjoy seeing the produce, but also get some really good tips and be able to ask proper experts about what's going on in their gardens.
Yeah, it's a special show. I have to admit, I've been doing the spring one for maybe since 2010, and this is my first autumn show. So I'm very excited to be there. And I always think that it's just the setting is special. You get brilliant guests, brilliant experts, but also the growers in the floral tent. And also, I think I'm quite excited about this year. Is obviously it looks like there's going to be quite a lot of animals involved. There's going to be dogs there. There's a cake part to it as well. So it'll be a bit different experience for me as an expert, as going on giving advice. So it's always great fun.
And I know that all the experts enjoy having a walk around the site as well. Sometimes incognito, different hats and glasses. But it is actually part of the fun of the event, because I mean there will be things which might even be new to you, and certainly new things to the market. And it's always interesting to see what is out there.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of innovation that goes on at Malvern. And also, to me, as a Londoner, everything seems to be quite southern-centric quite a lot of the time. So you kind of go there and find this whole other world where all these gardeners are there. And it's really it's a very friendly, down-to-earth show. It always has. I've always felt that way about it, about Malvern generally and the shows that go on there. So I'm you go out, the things about being a gardener is you've never got complete knowledge of it. There's always something new to find out.
Yeah, well, things have this habit of evolving just when you least expect it, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, what we thought 20 years ago changes to what we think now, and yeah, every day is a school day really in this game. And but I love the coming together of it. Gardeners are very generous people. We're dying to exchange our ideas and our knowledge the whole time, and Malvern certainly reflects that.
And what's the strangest sort of question you've been asked when you've been doing one of these shows?
Well, I think it's a personal level. I think what is the strangest thing that has ever happened to you as a gardener, I suppose, is probably one of the ones you. I've had it a few times in many years ago, but that might pop up. And mine was falling down a hole, getting stuck many years ago. So you always kind of get these questions. You think, well, what's happened that's strange? So I think I like that because it kind of puts a bit of humour into it as well. But there's always, now and again, you get a question you just can't, you might struggle to answer. We don't know everything, but usually it's what is the strangest things that's happened to you.
So it's nice to be part of these events, nice to meet people, and particularly when they know even things like your work in the past on Blue Peter and all the other stuff that you get up to these days.
Yes, well, for me, I mean, I'm very much, a lot of my work revolves around community and schools and this sort of thing. Gardening's very interesting because it's a bit of a social adhesive, so you can be people from all walks of life and we all kind of join on that subject, which doesn't happen a lot, I don't think. So I think that I love shows like this because it brings everyone together and you can be, anywhere from any background and no one really cares. It's kind of a big balancer of life, I think. And that's what I really love about it.
So you've already mentioned the fact there's dogs and cake that you're going to be interested into. Which are you going to visit first, the dogs, or are you going to be indulging in the food tent?
Question. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, well, I haven't got a dog because I'm too busy, and I go out and there's 3 big parks near me, and I walk them quite regularly, and I always look like the man who's lost his dog. So I'll probably go and see the dogs first. I particularly love Jack Russell, so hopefully there'll be a few of them. But obviously, I'll be there to go and have a look at the cake. But I'm in my senior years, so I have to take it easy on the cake because it goes on the body quite quick.
I think we both know that experience quite well. It's sometimes worthwhile just checking to see whether it still happens, though, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's true. You've got to taste them, got to keep the standards up, make sure the standards are still there.
I have to look after these things. And I mean, it is amazing when you see some of the produce. And I mean, there will be pumpkins twice the size of you there.
Yeah, I mean, the growers. I mean, I have an allotment, and it's. I mean, from a gardening point of view, I think it's the most skillful type of gardening because the season affects it so heavily, the weather affects it. They're quite demanding plants, so it takes a lot of concentration and skill to be able to do it. So when you see it on this scale, like these growers who get up to it, like the pumpkins is one example, but it'll be right across the board. I mean, as a gardener, I just can't help but admire it at all. And the beauty of the autumn show, which is another reason why I'm so excited, is obviously you're at the cropping, you're at the harvesting time of year, so you can really see what the growers have got up to.
And so it also then I'm afraid, I'm slightly afraid to say, actually, we'll be thinking about the festivities of Christmas, which are on the way. And will you be trying to find any good food ideas to bring to the table that you maybe haven't tried before?
Oh, definitely. The interesting thing about growing food is it kind of this is the no so truth about it is you eat better because you've taken all that effort to grow. It kind of knocks over into your home, your diet at home and what you cook at home. I'm always on the lookout. It's a very there's a lot of innovation goes on. It will be there at the show certainly. I think so. I will definitely be on the lookout to see what I can get up to. I'll come home and I'll cook something for me a lot. I'm going to keep my wife very happy, so I can't lose.
That does the job every time. Have you got your schedule? What days are you down there?
I'm just there on the Sunday, so I'll be there at 11:30 in the morning. I'll start off with in the potting shed with the fishes, Mr. Martin Fish and his beautiful wife. They're always a good chat. They're horticulturists from long back, and then I'll go on and do some stuff on root cuttings, and then I'll end up with on the main theatre, no doubt getting a few tough questions.
That's the way. We like the challenge. If you can find some really difficult questions, Sunday the 29th is when Chris is down there at the Malvern Autumn Show. So for 3 full days and loads of other brilliant guests as well. You can check out all the details at threecounties.co.uk. Give them a search on Facebook as well. And Chris, where can we find you? Because you're going to be sharing things from the show when you're down there.
Yes, we can find me on social media. Certainly. So, like I say, I'll be in the talk demo with Martin, and I'll also be with Ellen Mary in the garden, and then I'll be in the garden theatre. But my social media, CM Collins underscore Hort, will have all that information. I'll be taking lots of photos. I know that on the Friday and the Saturday that people like Adam Foster there, Rachel Defane, people who I know the public really love. So have a look out because there'll be loads going on.
It's an amazing event, and so you want to be there every day if you can, don't you? So I know there'll be people who are booking 3 days worth of tickets, and they will certainly be ready to ask you some nasty questions when you're on that main theatre in the afternoon on the Sunday.
I'll take solace in the fact that you know what, I'll stay in Malvern, and when I do the show, when I do all the days in the spring, and I walk along the Malvern Hills, the base of the Malvern Hills, and it really is one of the most beautiful spots in the country, and that's my treat for the day.
Yeah, wonderful scenery, a brilliant show, lots to see, including on the Sunday, Chris Collins. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jason.
Something amazing, unexpected, and possibly quite magical is going to be happening at the Lichfield Garrick on a Wednesday, the 11th. It all gets going at 7:30 in the Maid Auditorium, and it brings Jenny Ryan to the stage. You'll no doubt know her as the Vixen on The Chase, and for her many other TV appearances. You might have missed a few of them, though, where she showed off her amazing voice. I'm sure she will not be shying away from doing that on Wednesday. And she joins me now to tell me more about the show. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. We are absolutely in the middle of rehearsal, though, putting together final touches to this show. Very exciting time.
So, Out the Box is the title, meaning you have escaped from our TV screens and are appearing in real life. And this is probably more than some will be able to cope with, surely. The magic that is happening on this night. It's going to be chat. There's going to be probably very few quiz questions, but absolutely loads of entertainment.
Loads of entertainment. There will be a few quiz questions, though, Jason. So I hope people who are coming along have got their wits about them and are getting quite sharp because, yes, it wouldn't be a Jenny Ryan event without a bit of quizzing. So that's an extra treat. But it's mostly me talking about myself, my life and times, some behind the scenes gossip, and throwing in quite a few of my favourite numbers to sing.
Yeah, no, I mean, people on The Chase do not really get much of a clue the fact you have got a phenomenal voice. It's not really called for. I mean, if you were singing your answers as well to get one step closer to the contestant, that might be another interesting twist on the game show. But yeah, you could easily knock the socks off and shatter glass with your amazing lungs.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got quite a range, and yeah, I didn't really realise that people enjoyed hearing my voice until I did Celebrity X Factor, and that really tipped the balance for me. You know, I thought it would be, quite vain of me to go around forcing people to listen to me sing and talk about myself. But actually, it turns out people really, really want to hear me sing and hear what I've got to say because I've got a very weird career. Portmanteau of being a professional quizzer, part-time singer, etc., etc., and I've not had a linear path to success. So I think there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about me, but it's kind of a familiar story to a lot of people. They'll recognise some of what I've gone through and my steps along the journey. So it's lovely to be able to share what my life's been with everybody.
Yeah, no, I think
Through
it's the
song
fact.
as well.
Well, yeah, yeah, but you're personable, and I think that's come across since you appeared on the chase. Suddenly, we had these extra chasers arrive, and the Vixen was one of them, and the names are huge fun. And I've spoken to a couple of the other guys in the past about their work on there as well. And although you are trying to defeat the contestant, you do it with sort of a gold-plated, fluffy sledgehammer in some way.
Well, I've been there. I know what it's like to be on the other side of the desk, facing the person with the question cards who is firing things at you. My first experience with television, which wasn't watching it, was being on University Challenge and having Jeremy Paxman staring at me across question cards and being very impressed when I got things right, but you don't want to get something wrong and disappoint him. But if you can cope with that kind of pressure on TV, that made me think, well, actually, maybe there's more of a career in this for me.
And I say you've absolutely shown at everything that you've done, which is brilliant, which is why I know this is already selling exceptionally well. And it's just making sure people know about it because, as we've already kind of said, you don't shout about yourself that much either. It's part of you being so nice. It's something that you've almost shied away from, but we're starting to bring you out your shell a little bit.
Yeah, and it does take people, like yourself, encouraging me to talk about myself and really sell myself. That's got me going, and taking this show on the road is a really special experience. So it is something to be proud of. I've put together a really great show, if I do say so myself. And I would love as many people to come along and enjoy it with me as possible. I'm really looking forward to getting out there on the road. Lovely to be starting the tour in Lichfield as well at the Garrick, because I've visited a few times, and I've got a good friend, a good showbiz friend in Lichfield, Mr. Jamie Jones, the well-known pantomime dame.
Yes, we know. Everybody knows Jamie. He's a lovely fella, and as you've given him a shout out, I'll tag him on the Facebook friends list when I share this online as well. So
Please.
he'll be pleased with that. But it is great to see such talent coming together. And are you bringing your own sofa for this as well? Are you going to basically be chilling out on set?
Well, the idea is that I've been in everybody's living room, so welcome to mine. So yes, I'm bringing the whole living room is coming with me, including the most valuable bit of furniture, which is my friend Owen, who will be on the keys with me. So he's the piano man and co-creator of this show. It's going to be lovely to share the stage with him as well and introduce him to the audience.
So it's going to be jolly good fun, and I think the important part is you're going to enjoy it as much as the audience are going to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a hoot. It's so lovely to be running through what I've got for everybody in rehearsal here and go, I can't wait. It's going to be so different when there's people to share this with out there sitting in the stalls. Yeah, that's the best bit for me is seeing everybody's faces and creating a bit of joy.
Well, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I know that already. I'm looking forward to finding out the reactions from those who again are going to go, Jenny Ryan, when you do perform like this, it is Jenny the Vixen Ryan out of the box Wednesday the 11th of September 7:30 01543 412 is the box office number, lichfieldgarrick.com to get your tickets that way if you want to do it online, and whatever you do though, just get your tickets as VIP packages as well. So that's what you do. Don't get to sit on the sofa with Jenny though, you still have to sit in the auditorium, but it'll be an absolute amazing treat of a show. Jenny, lovely to chat with you. Thank you for joining us, and have a brilliant time in Lichfield on Wednesday.
Certainly will. See you there.
Anne and Dom have a brand new single out. It is out. And joined now by Dominic Bugatti to tell me more about the music itself. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm very well, and I hope you're well as well.
Getting by, which is what counts. It's the least we can hope
that's
for.
Great. That's great. Yeah, no, I'm very excited about this single, which actually was released on the 23rd of August, and so it's just come out, and it's been a while building up. We did a load of dance mixes, so it's about to chart in the UK club charts. There are a bunch of different house mixes and stuff. Very upbeat one by a female DJ called Amber D, which apparently everybody likes. And that was part of getting people aware of this song. And then also we did a video which has been on YouTube, building up there for a few weeks prior to actually making it available on Spotify, etc., which happened on the 23rd. And it's an interesting track because we did one together, Anne and I. Anne, I should explain, Anne Winsborn is a very talented Swedish singer, and we got working together a couple of years ago because I heard a track of hers in Swedish, and I thought it was great, so I did some English lyrics for it, and that led to a sort of a bit of a collaboration. And then we did a song. I did a song for her, well, for the two of us, called "Same Old Missing You," and that made a lot of friends with "Same Old Missing You," including yourself. You were very supportive of that, which was great.
Yeah, it was excellent work, and I haven't played Out Yes. We will do that in a moment or two's time, so I'll be here at the same time as everybody else does.
Oh, right.
But I have high expectations because I mean your work and Anne's coming together is fantastic. Anne's had a good amount of success before you guys met up, but you're basically a bit of a dream team, aren't you?
Well, that's a nice way of putting it. I think people do seem to be reacting well to the combination. We've had some very nice blog posts that have, sort of suggested that we are a very good team. So anyway, so Same Old Missing You went pretty well. And then I get a lot of different song ideas. As you know, I've written songs for a long time, and I get different ideas on a regular basis. I'm someone who's against the idea of writer's block. You hear people say, well, writer's block. I just can't live with that one, because you could go to any cafe and overhear a conversation. There's an idea right there. You could put on a TV show and someone will say something. Do you understand what I mean? That's the way I see it anyway. Mm-hmm. So I get a lot of different ideas, and they sort of pile up slightly on my desk. And there's corners of a magazine I tore out when I got the idea in the doctor's surgery, or, the back of a checkbook, or they're just in a messy state. I got this idea for "The Only Way Is Out." That's the full phrase in Out. We decided to keep it very simple and just call it Out, but it's actually all about sometimes the only way is out. And I just put it on top of the pile, if you like. And that night, it was very eerie because my dad passed away quite a long time ago, and he did pop up once when in a dream when I was about to become a father for the first time, my daughter Fleur, But that night, when I put Out on the pile, he came very clearly into my dream. It wasn't just any old thing. It was really like he was in the room, and he said, "You've got to finish that one straight away." And it's very unusual. I mean, it was completely strange. So I went ahead and, I'm a good son, so I did what he suggested, or I was a good son. So anyway, we went for that, and it's a song about really a woman in this case. I mean, it could be sung, but it could be a male version as well. But in this case, it's a woman who sort of really has tried everything in a relationship. It's not a song that recommends people should just give up easily. But what it says is sometimes, when you've tried everything, the only way is out. And there's a fun line in the chorus, which is sometimes you've got to leg it to the exit. And I don't really know where that came from, that line. But anyway, that's what it says. So, anyway, it worked out very well, and she's great to work with. We sort of understand where we're going. We got a fantastic backing vocalist called Emily Lynn, who sort of blends beautifully with Anne's voice. So that sort of added a lot to it, as it did on. It's part of the sound, as it was on "Same Old Missing You." Mm-hmm. So anyway, we've had a build-up of interest and excitement about it, and some high praise and stuff. So fingers crossed, and I hope people like it when they hear it on your show.
Well, we expect great things. So for those who don't have the back catalogue, I mean, Music Sounds Better With You. That was your writing. The stuff you've written for the likes of the 3 Degrees, Sheena Easton, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Your musical back catalogue is phenomenal. So I mean, I'm waiting on the edge of the seat for anything that you produce. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Well, that's very kind. Of course, they also say you're only good as your next song, So, I mean, I obviously try and keep the standard up. I'm always sort of thinking, what am I going to do that's going to make this song stand out. You know, what's going to distinguish it from other songs. And there are a few nice things I'm proud of in it. You know, that I think are good. So if I'm pleasing myself, if I'm impressing myself slightly, if you get what I mean, that's how I judge it. I sort of sometimes know when I'm soft pedaling a bit and getting a bit lazy, and I can feel it, but I don't think that's true on this one. I feel it's got some good stuff in it, and Anne really likes it. I think as a woman, she sort of says the lyrics very relatable. In fact, funny you mentioned Sheena Easton, because on one level, this is a bit of a feminist song, and I think it goes back to a little bit to Modern Girl, because Modern Girl, the Sheena Easton hit Modern Girl, which I wrote with my partner Frank Musker, had this line in it at the end where she says to the guy, "Tonight I'm going to stay at home and watch my TV. You know, I don't want to be with one guy all the time." It was a sort of a strong, independent comment, and so I feel with this one, it's a return slightly to that. I'm not a feminist, by the way, in the sense that I'm trying to join a club or get brownie points or anything like that. It's just that some songs. Each song is almost like a little movie to me, and I'm a sort of script writer to music, making up a story, and this happens to come round again to a slightly what could sound like a feminist point of view. But I mean, I've done songs which are totally. I mean, you mentioned the 3 Degrees as well. Well, our song "Woman in Love," our "Woman in Love," went to "Just give me love when you can. If you need me, a woman in love will understand." But I mean, my friend used to call that the doormat song. quite the opposite of feminist idea, but again, it's a different film. You know, it's a different movie, it's a different plot,
and a different time as well, I think, which is
true. That's true as well. I mean, now we have songs like "Flowers." You know, I can buy myself flowers. I can, you know, do you know what I mean? Like we come a long way on the arc of empowerment, female empowerment, etc. So I think you may be right, but I think there are still situations where people are vulnerable, or they need love, or you know, I don't know if we'll ever have everybody really completely sort of sure of themselves. I don't think that makes necessarily, you know, and even in "Flowers," although she says that, there's a hint of doubt. You know, for me, when I hear it, I don't feel that she's that happy about buying herself flowers, to be honest. I think it's a sort of a position she's arrived at, but everyone will have their own point of view on that. It's a bit like, you know, the lovely old song by 10cc, "I'm Not in Love," you know. It's pretty obvious the guy is in love, or he wouldn't be going on about it so much, that he's not in love. The guy who co-wrote that, Graham Gouldman's a friend of mine, you know, and it's one of the great songs, because it's really about denial, you know.
I mean, music it tells a plethora of stories, as you say. Each one,
exactly, yeah.
particularly with the video, is a film, a story, a tale in itself.
That's right.
And you need to see it from everybody's angle.
That's right. I mean, I think having a clear, you know, I mean, there are all kinds of things now. There are Spotify playlists, you know, and I'm glad to say we've just gone on our first few, even though it's only just been released, and I hope there'll be more. But there are some playlists, quite a few playlists, which are sort of chill, sort of vibe playlists where nothing particularly strong jumps out in terms of what we've just been discussing, which is plot, you know, the drama of the song, if you like, the sort of meaning of the song, the story. Where it's really people just want a sort of lovely backdrop to their lives. They just want a kind of mood, because they're the star of their lives. In many, you know, there are times when people just want to be their own star. They don't want to watch a film with somebody else being the star. They are the star of their own lives, and a lot of this music is just nice music, background music, really. You know, you could switch on, you see lovely images on YouTube of Ibiza and stuff like that, and this music's playing, and you know, it's great. But I mean, I'm really a sort of a brill building type writer who's thinking plot. You know, brill building was where people like Carole King used to write. You know, "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?" The Motown tracks. You know, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." I'm still in that game, if you like, more than in just the mood of the track. I mean, the mood does matter, but I don't. I haven't yet really wanted to do just mood. I like there to be a story and a bit of a point of view going on.
Yeah, it may not be a point of view you share, but it's certainly one that you're talking about at the time.
Exactly. I mean, I think someone, I'm sure that Stephen King doesn't go out and sort of murder people at night. He only writes about it, thank God. But and it's a bit like that. You just get into a subject and you see how far that will go. I mean, there's a line in this one where the lady says, "I've gone the extra mile and always with a smile, and now I'm wondering what was it for?" The sort of which sort of proves that every possible effort has been made before the decision to go out to split happens. But someone I know who's been through one recently, a big sort of nasty breakup, said they found the song very uplifting and very sort of cleansing. Like the feeling, it's a bit like if you when you sort of go snorkeling and you go too deep and you look up and my God, the surface is a long way up. And you're sort of thinking, am I going to make it? And you sort of finally push your head out through the water, and there, you've got the air and the sun and the whatever. This is the feeling of out. This is the feeling of this track. Is you've been through the bit where you felt trapped and you didn't know what to do and everything, and now you're out. You found freedom, basically. I mean, it is hopefully a liberating type thing. I also have a sort of thing, if you really want to get into it, where I think some people will enjoy that theme, but it might make them sort of very glad of what they've got and don't want to split.
It could be the plaster that someone's looking for in a relationship to make them realize, hang on, I can work it. It's more.
Yeah, I think that can happen too. It's like, the end of Titanic was a very great love story, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of it, the guy died. It was not a happy ending with a sort of marriage and everything. But I think a lot of people reach for when they're watching that in the cinema, the fact that it doesn't work out, they reach for the hand of their partner and sort of squeeze it like, we are together, you haven't died, we're going to make it. You get what I mean? It's sort of, you can have an opposite, because things can have an opposite effect. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think some people will hear out, get into it. Yeah, I could go down that route. And then at the end of it, they'll think, but I don't think I will, because, it's made me realize I'm happy where I am. It could have all kinds of effects on people, but that's just stuff to see, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to finding out people's responses to having heard the song in a moment or two's time. Before we do that, where do we find it and how do we stream and listen?
Okay, well, if you search, it's only just happening. And what we did on the previous one, we did Same Old Missing You with our full names, Anne Winsborne and Dominic Bugatti, but it was a hell of a mouthful. So on this one, we've just gone out by Anne and Dom. Anne with an ampersand, Dom. So Anne and Dom. So if you search out Anne, A-N-N, and Dom, D-O-M, you should find it. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube as well. And nice video with me doing my sort of guy in shades, walking moodily down the road, and Anne singing. And in fact, this is an exclusive for you, Jason. We're working on a French version because two songwriters I know heard it on via Facebook, and both said, "Oh my goodness, you've got to do a French version." And I lived in France for like 15 years, so I've just written a French lyric, and we're working on that. We'll be doing that. I mean, Anne said, "How many more languages do you want to do?" I'm not planning on too many, but the idea for that worked. So it's got a slightly different twist in French, but says a similar thing, but explained in a slightly different way. Anyway, so we're working on that. That'll keep us busy, and we'll see how it goes.
And of course, obviously, we can find the rest of your back catalogue and your work via your website too.
The website, which is dominic-bugatti.com, I think, isn't it? I think it's a .com. That's got everything on there as far as I know. It's got Sister Sledge, it's got Casey and the Sunshine Band, it's got Shaka Khan, Carly Simon. I'm running out of memory now.
Paul Nicholas.
Anyway, a load of stuff on there. Air Supply, Every Woman in the World. In fact, there's a sort of a little what would you call it? A kind of short thing that plays, you know, with various bits of the hits. My Simple Heart's on there. One of my little pet favourites. Oh, I've got a phone going off. Sorry about that. I've got a pet favourite which was in Fame, the movie Fame, called Dogs in the Yard, which I'm going to do a little live version of soon. Which is not one you hear about too much. It's not that famous, but on YouTube it gets a lot of sort of I guess you'd say cult interest, meaning people go, oh, I love this song, oh, I really relate to the lyrics, and it makes me feel this, that, and the other. You know, it's got its own personal following. And it was also my mum's favourite song. There you go. I mentioned my mum and my dad now, so it's all everything's level. But anyway, yeah, so they're more than welcome to go and have a browse there, and see what they like. You know.
Well, Dominic Bugatti, always an honour to speak to you. Thank you for joining us, and keep up the good work, and particularly the work you're doing with Anne.
And you, thank you very much for keeping it all buzzing. Thank you.
The Cannock Chase Drama Society bring Annie to the stage of the Prince of Wales Theatre from the 19th through to the 22nd of September. Julie Hunter is the person directing, and he's going to introduce you to the rest of the gang over here. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
I nearly said rabble then, because I'm hoping they don't normally dress like this.
No, they don't. They have really dressed up to be showing you the part, exactly as the orphans. We started rehearsing for this back in March with an open audition, when we had 47 inspired children come along wanting to be Annie and the orphans. And here we have some of the successful characters.
Okay, tell us who we've got and who's the extra big orphan on the end.
Oh, wow. I'm going to introduce you to Molly.
Hi, Molly.
Is Dottie, who plays Molly.
Right.
And she's the youngest one in the show. She's a bit of a little powerhouse. So go on, say what you want to say.
Well, I really enjoying doing Molly because I feel like the character really suits me because it's kind of like just being me.
but more troublesome than normally. Yeah, your parents don't have to put up with you being really bad, do they?
No.
No, that's good then. But we'll have a great time in the show. Break a leg.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dossie.
And then we have Nancy. Now, Nancy is playing the role of Duffy, who's
Right.
the comedian as far as the orphans.
So you've got to carry the comedy.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
And what's it like playing this role?
Just very me, and I feel like I feel like I relate to her very much, and she's just funny and bouncy, and you know what I mean, like.
Okay, we are learning that the families of the cast are having a hell of a time because they're just in character. That's what they're doing when they're wrecking the house. They're just in character, aren't you?
Indeed, she is. And she's also the understudy for Annie.
So, important job, and it's obviously going to be an amazing show, which is brilliant. And the songs and stuff, these gang have got to carry off.
Yeah, everybody relates to the songs. In particular, it's a hard knock life for all of the orphans and tomorrow. So I'm going to now introduce you to our little Annie.
Hello.
And this is Elsie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
Okay, are you looking forward to being Annie?
Yeah.
Now, you say you've got to sing lots of songs, deliver lots and lots of words, all of them in the right order. Is that going to be easy?
Yeah.
Because you practiced?
Yeah.
And you've had some brilliant people telling you what to do?
Yeah.
What's your favourite bit about being Annie?
I really like being Annie because I get to act with a real dog and sing with a real dog, and he's really cute.
That's cool. And what's the dog's name?
Pedro.
Okay.
And in the show it's Sandy.
Does he know about playing the different name?
Yeah.
He's understood that bit?
Yeah.
That's good. As long as the dog's got it, we're sorted. That'll be good. Fantastic.
My favourite part in the show is when I get to do Hard Knock Life with all the other orphans because we have so much fun.
It is a big song, isn't it? And I mean, the set's going to be good as well. There's a lot of stamping around and... Okay, it's going to be brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's a lot of stamping.
Yeah.
There's a lot of use of brooms.
There's a lot of grumpiness.
Yes. And imitating Miss Hannigan. This one's special at doing that. And the person who's put all of that together in terms of the routines for them is, of course, Lauren, our choreographer.
Lauren, come a little closer and tell us about how all this came about, because this is, again, it's another big task, but one that everybody in the company's risen to.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Julie said, we started with a workshop. Loads of talent came, and obviously these are some of the cast, and you're all absolutely fantastic, aren't you? So they've been a dream to choreograph for, haven't you? We've had loads of fun putting together all the routines, stamping around the rooms, haven't we? Loads and loads of fun. And that's been great to do both for the children and also our adult ensemble. And it's been really fabulous because we've also managed to attract some new members as well. So it's going to be a really, really good show.
Okay, who's been the hardest to work with, the kids, the dog, or the adults?
Oh, I think we'll leave that for the audience to discover. No, only kidding. Everyone's been absolutely fabulous. We've had a great time doing everything together, and just everyone's been really excited, haven't they, all the way through? So it's been great to put together. And I'm also lucky enough to have a role in the show as Lily St Regis, and she's a dancer, so that's really fun for me to do.
But this does mean if you're not dancing right, there's someone on stage who will tell you off whilst you're there. You know, that's you've got to get it right, okay? It'll be fine. It'll be brilliant. Okay, so that just leaves us with the details on the tickets.
Indeed, the details on the tickets. So, as we've already said, 19th to the 22nd of September 2024. So we are performing Thursday, Friday and Saturday evening with 2 matinees at 2:30 on Saturday and Sunday. The prices are £18 for an adult, £16 for concession and £63 for a family saver. And our online box office, if you want to go on it, is cannockchasedrama.co.uk. And we have lots of flyers with our QR code as well. And there are some tickets available at the Prince of Wales, but we would prefer you to go through our company if possible because it's got the easier option.
Yeah, and you can just find it all on Facebook as well. It'll be there too. But say Cannock Chase Drama Society at gmail.com is the email address. Get in touch, grab your tickets, come along, see this lot and the rest of the gang all doing fantastic stuff on stage. You're going to be brilliant, aren't you?
Yeah!
It's Annie at the Prince of Wales from the 19th through to the 22nd, courtesy of Cannock Chase Drama Society. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a collective noun for this rabble I'm sat with at the moment. It is Fizzogs, apparently, and they're doing their thing on the 3rd, 5th and 6th of October at the Halesowen Town Hall. Hello, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Right, so tell us what it is you're doing.
So we're doing a play, a parody of Wicked, and it's called The Return of the Wicked Wizard of Fizzog.
And Wizard of Oz.
And the Wizard of Oz, yeah. It's like an amalgamation of the two.
So how did this all start about? Because this is something it's not the first time you've taken this out, is it?
No, we were bored, really, to be fair. No, and we've had quite a few people say, oh, you know, when you're touring again, and the whole COVID thing happened, so we've had a bit of a break. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we did it? So I know Sue and Deb had quite a few people say, oh, you know, when are you touring?
They never said that to you, though?
No, just Sue and Deb.
Yeah.
So maybe you ought to ask them, really.
Okay. So what's it like having friends who want to see your work?
It's nice.
Just nice?
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay them or anything?
We feel appreciated.
Yeah.
It is, it's lovely.
Okay, well, the number of times we've seen you guys out doing the Dancing Grannies, I mean, that never gets tired, does it? Well, you do, doing it, but it never gets tired. Everybody still loves that.
Yeah.
But that's not the definition of a Fizzog, is it? It's not all that you do. There is so much more.
Absolutely. I think with this play that we're doing is a play within a play, because the characters are characters from 1910 and they're the ones that are putting on the play. So it's those particular characters. We used to work at the Black Country Museum, and that's kind of where they originated from, which was, did we work about 15 years ago now that we started, maybe a bit longer, I don't know. That we started.
Notorious,
yes, it
weren't
was.
So I heard that some of the buildings of the Black Country Museum were new when you guys started.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, if anyone used to go to the Black Country Museum on the Christmas nights, and they would go into the Workers' Institute and see a panto, that was us.
Yeah.
Because apparently people still ask about us. We haven't been there for about 8 years, and they still ask. So,
which is understandable.
Just
to make sure you're not coming back.
Yeah.
With all of this, it's great to be wanted, isn't it?
Always.
Yeah.
It's great to be wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's good for us as well. It's like, because when you haven't done something for a while, even though we've been performing, the Grannies are a different entity, and we've also had, we've been doing murder mysteries as well as the Grannies and with these characters. But this is the first time in, did we say 7-8 years, that we've done a big show?
5 years since we've done a big show, but 7 years for this one.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
But I'm more used to you guys going out doing big shows with, say, some of the gang who are regular faces back on the back row of this conversation. That's the weird bit, isn't it? That it has been much more of your single item pieces rather than a big show, or even one of your sort of mixed comedy nights as well, which is the variety nights in a way have always been very well supported.
I think for us, we wanted to. Obviously COVID, with what happened there.
That was your fault.
No, completely. I just sneezed and that was it. Obviously it took. Everyone was affected. So for us, obviously the arts got affected
massively,
massively. So we took that huge, obviously had to take that huge break, and we've eased ourselves in and didn't rush back in, going right, we're going back full pelt with a show. And I think that's another reason why we wanted to bring an old favourite back and not write something brand new, is because we've been out of the loop for so long that when we've actually started to work doing it, it's like, oh my God, the amount of work and time and effort that goes into creating a brand new show. And we felt that just by doing a show that we've already worked before.
Honed and polished.
It's been revamped.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we sat down, didn't we? Went to the cafe and we sat down and we started reading it as we do.
Hang on, just want to check. Did you go in the granny outfits because you get the OAP specials and you get your COVID jabs early.
Do you know what? We have done that before.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm officially old now, so I don't need the outfit, to be fair. But yeah, we sat down and we said, all right, we'll rewrite little bits of it. And we have written little bits of it, we've rewritten, but actually most of it we just still made us laugh. So yeah, it's tweaked.
Because I mean, there's another 4 people sat behind us who we've not spoken to at all. They're not just the studio audience here to laugh. They're not just sycophants. They are actually here for a reason, aren't they?
Speak to them. So
explain what they do to start off with, because I know one of them is
the famous ones behind us.
Yeah, basically,
The ones that,
These are the real actors, the proper actors. We just pretend
we're still on script.
We are. We're really bad.
That's the worry. But so tell us who we've got. I mean, introducing. Start whichever way you want.
So we've got the lovely Esther Stamford.
Okay, you've got to give them all a superlative now.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just. She's. What's your character? Eunice. So I'm at this age where. Eunice.
You've always been that age.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Where's my cars? Where's my keys? This is Eunice Clegg, and she's amazing, but she's in love with Millie Froggatt, which is a bit disconcerting. But it is 1910, and as Sue says, things have moved on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I just add as well that Esther was trained by people that run ITV workshops.
Okay.
With people who've been Oscar nominated, BAFTA award
So Esther,
winning.
why did you end up with this lot rather than the good stuff?
Well, I just took a wrong turn. No, it's lovely to meet the girls and the guys. It's been 7 years since I've worked with them, so they said at the beginning of the year, do you want to come back and do 3-night run? And I said, yeah, absolutely. It's always a blast when we all work together. So, yeah.
This is nothing like what you would experience in a real theatre company. Well, I mean, we are a real theatre company, obviously, but we do things our own way, don't we? Yeah. And I think it's quite, people quite like that.
I've seen the rider. You're looking after everyone in rehearsals.
Yeah.
One of your big stars has eaten a pot of noodles, so it's quite. So let's get on to the next one in the line at the back row.
So do you want to?
I can't see it.
It's James.
This is James Collins.
You can normally tell by the beard tickling you on the back of the head.
Yeah. James, we all know from college, worked with us at the Black Country Museum for many, many years, has done many shows without us at the Grand.
Should we just let him tell him?
When he was working with you at the Black Country Museum, he's basically half the man he was because you employed him purely to be fat at the time. And since then, he's lost a shed load of weight. I mean, what's going on?
Do you know what, though?
Exactly what's going on.
He had the wrong
That's most of his lines. What's going on? Yeah, to be fair, he's still funny.
James, if you can get a word in edgeways, are you still funny?
Yeah, I was worried about that actually. More to do with this character really. How that would work when I get back to do, because the character's Little Willie. Yeah, well, but it'd be going back to like 19. It could be dysentery or something, couldn't it?
He got stuck up the chimney.
Oh yeah.
But no, since COVID and that, I've been doing other things with comedy, so it kept me kind of foot or toe in comedy, and then just kind of prepared me back for jumping into this character
as an alternative to comedy.
A lot of the characters I've been playing recently in kind of comedic characters have just been based on the character I do with this the Little Willie character. So it's a nice.
A lot of your life's surrounded that sort of entity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
wherever it is, the name fits you.
It's that clueless character. It seems to be quite a bit.
I think all of our characters are
a bit clueless. Either aggressive or clueless. One or the other.
Maybe not Esther's character.
Sure. Anyway, next up.
And then we've got
our Beck.
Beck. Hi, Beck.
Rebecca Fuller. Go on, Beck. Tell them all about yourself. What do you want to know?
Wonder more. What conditioner do you use? Because that hair looks amazing.
Thank you. Pantene Pro V.
It's working wonders. It's brilliant.
But yeah, I've been working with Physog, what do we work it out? It's like 13, 14 years now, which is gross.
She was older than 5.
Yeah, I was about 15, I think, when I was indoctrinated in for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So like Es said, it was a bit of a no-brainer to come back because it's been a while and we have lots of fun when we do this show. I play Clary Froggatt, so this is my t'other mother.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with my real mother, who surprisingly looks actually quite similar. There's often a lot of comments.
But just your real mother swears a lot less.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
But yeah, and it's just great fun to be back.
And also, what else have you been in, and what else do you still currently do?
Oh yeah, so
This is the stuff that goes on the posters, isn't it?
I play Beth Casey in The Archers on BBC Radio 4.
There you go.
And I've done a lot of bits. I've been on Doctors in between, and I did a TV series called Raised by Wolves.
I'm the only person in this room who probably hasn't been on Doctors, so come on.
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage. Your day will come. Don't worry, you'll get the call. Yeah, I know. Well, sorry, Jason.
I missed out there.
So yeah, I've done a bit. I also run Drama Workshop, which is a company that we both run together. That Esther started many years ago. We attended it, and now we run that. It's a drama school for ages 5 to 18. So that's been keeping us busy over the last few years.
That's all good. Okay, but three have introduced three. Who's going to introduce that final member of the gang?
This is Gregory Piper, superstar extraordinaire. So yeah, again, exactly like Bex just said, we all kind of like met at Drama Workshop through Esther, and then they all kind of like get drawn into
as soon as you get some dirt on them, and before you know it, you're blackmailed into doing stuff with you.
That's very true. What you've just
said. Okay. They do it because they love it. That's why they do it. Yeah.
Okay, so as far as your pot noodle goes, it's Bombay Bad Boy or something, wasn't it? Scary like that. So we know how they got you here. It was a trail of food. But I mean, you are the professional. You're the one wearing sweatpants. I mean, what's going on?
We started helping out when we were younger, helping out with the shows.
He's about 12 now, for anybody who's not looking at this,
and we started to then move set, and then we slowly worked our way into it. I love the idea of a play that's going wrong, that there's a play within a play, and these characters are trying to hold it together, and everyone's trying their best to undo that play. That's what I absolutely love about the Fizzogs, and the fact that they're fantastic to work with as well.
And they paid you to say that as well. That's the only way you get sandwiches for tea, isn't it, if you say nice things. And I mean, did you find it slightly disturbing that you've got the best teeth amongst the rest of them and it's not going to fit in with the show?
Don't know about that, I got a big crooked one.
Excuse me, I've just had Invisalign.
Not entirely sure that was your teeth they were doing, but there we go. So I don't know what these products are. So, but you haven't plugged your bit. Come on, where will people know you from?
What's
your IMDb say? Read it out. Come on.
So I was in Line of Duty. I played Ryan Pilkington in Line of Duty. I was in You versus Train, which is like it went out to like theatres of being aware of rail safety. I was in Frankie when I was younger. I was also in Line of Duty when I was younger. So
everyone else bored yet?
It's impressive.
It is good, isn't it?
Very impressive. Yeah. I mean, you don't get any
special treatment.
No special treatment
I think
here.
as well, because you know, you're also really, really humble with it. You know, it's not like the big star thing. But I think, like, obviously, when Greg, especially season 6 you were in. Season
1, 5 and 6.
1, 5 and 6, sorry. I remember 1, but I can't remember 5 and 6. But it was like, with everything you go into all these, like, these carpet...
Red carpet dudes.
Red carpet dudes and all that stuff. And and then he just comes in here and it's just like, we are like the family, like when you've done really, really well and then you go and see your grandma and she goes, oh, could you just clean that toilet for me? That kind of scenario. And he's
can you just put this ridiculous costume on for us? That's what it is, really.
You just like taunting them, don't you? Really? That's what it is.
Well, we do it to ourselves, so they ain't going to get away with it.
That's the way it works.
Can we also mention, because she's not here at the moment, because she's busy working, but we also have another cast member, which is Holly Fellows, which is Jack's daughter, who actually was performing with us while still in the womb.
Yeah, she was.
Because we were on stage when Jack was pregnant with Holly.
Holly,
and then she came with us.
Does she still get royalties for anything you film?
No. So Holly, because like she's my daughter, so she don't get any special. So she, when we were at the Black Country Living Museum, I used to take her, and we'd put her in a costume, and then we'd just let her go. So she had the best childhood because she'd go and work on the fair. I'd say, "Where's the baby?" And she's gone down the boat trips.
You didn't send her down the mine because that's what they used to do.
She went down the mine. She went everywhere, and it was only when I think she was doing something after school in the club, and she said, and I was acting up, and she said, and I realised actually, she said that I wasn't normal, and it's all because of you. She did. She honestly did. She said I was acting up and playing stupid because that's what we do anyway. This is just an extension of what we do when we're having a laugh anyway. So.
And you do this sober as well, which is a scary bit.
Yeah, I couldn't do it drunk.
No. You can't remember where you are now, let alone if you
No,
okay, so if my memory's working correctly, we said the 3rd, 5th and 6th of October.
Yes,
We said it's Halesome in Town Hall.
Yeah.
And now we're going to work out how people are going to buy tickets. Because that's the important bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go to thefizzogs.com, all the information, there's an actual page which is all about the Wicked Wizard of Fizzog. So you can read more about it and you can get tickets from there as well.
You mean there's more than just this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It will be absolutely awesome. I know these 3 particularly well, and the one on the back. And they are all absolutely fantastic performers. The others I can't even vouch for, but I did listen to the Archers one. But it will be absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely sure. Just search for the Fizzogs. Spell Fizzogs for us. So you can use a song that you do with this as well. Can you sing that? No.
There is no song, is that?
There is a Fizzog game.
Why haven't we got a
we didn't
Fizzog
create
song?
it. Remember we found the Fizzog
We've got a song called Nigel, which was written by our friend Ross.
Could you change the words to fit how do you spell Fizzog or not?
Fizzog, how could you leave me, Fizzog? Oh, you deceived me from the start, tore me apart. Yeah, you broke my heart. That's F-I-Z-Z-O-G. That's F-I-Z-Z-O-G-S. F-I-Z-Z-O-G-S. Come on, guys. F-I-Z-Z-O-G-S.
See, they're contractually obliged to join in with them there as they spell the name. Thank you all. Have a brilliant time. Break a leg and bring magic to the stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, Rupi Lal, absolute friend of the show, he has popped up many times over the last 17 years or so on
Something like that, yeah.
as we've been chatting, and from everything from your Working Kids TV through various other projects, we do like to have a good catch up. You're also periodically a radio presenter as well, which is always nice to enjoy too. But at the minute, he is a bit of a movie star. Hey, are you, sir? You good?
Yeah, I can't believe what's happened. So yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, hi, my name's Rupi Lal. I'm an actor, and I'm in the new Beetlejuice film, Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton.
Technically, you've just said that 3 times, which could get us into trouble.
I know. Oh yeah, you might pop up. Imagine that. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
So tell us a bit about this one, because as I say, you're an experienced actor and you've worked on many projects, and all actors have different things they do at different times. You worked on some brilliant youth work, and this is part of you giving back through the skills that you have. But at the moment, it's the plaudits are coming to you because, to say, you are in a movie and a named role.
I know. Yeah, as I said, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I'm in Beetlejuice. That's what 5 times I said it now. So I'm in that film. I'm right at the end, and I'm in a scene with Jenna Ortega, obviously from Wednesday on Netflix, and she was a delight to work with. Really down to earth, really really nice. Winona Ryder, Stranger Things, obviously the original Beetlejuice film as well, and all the other films that she's done. So like. I went up to her and introduced myself and shook her hand and stuff. And then Tim Burton, I'm a massive Batman fan. The film with Michael Keaton, 1989, and Batman Returns as well. It was just unbelievable. But what I managed to do, which I didn't think I was going to, but I stayed professional. So I didn't let the fanboy in me get loose until the very, very end, where I was in this room with Tim Burton and the sound guy, and we were doing basically something happens to my character without giving too much away, but I had to record some kind of dialogue and some screams and such, and Tim Burton was just smiling and laughing his head off. And at the end of it, and I got the idea from one of the stunt ladies, I just asked him to sign a bit of costume for me, and he did. And he was happy to do so. So, the fanboy in me came out right at the very end.
This is the weird thing, because, I mean, we're working with all sorts of people who are very well known all the time, whether it's doing interviews or whether you're working on and hosting an event. And it's really difficult because you can't usually ask for autographs, can you? So it's just not the done thing, because we're there. Yeah, maybe not as their equals in my case, but in yours certainly you are. But you're there as part of the gig, and whilst you might get a selfie these days because you're using it for promotion for a recording. Getting the actual signature on a bit of paper, really difficult sometimes. So it has to be done though eventually, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that was the situation when I was working with Jenna Ortega, because we had the deck chair set up and we're sitting off set, and we're just catching up and talking about all sorts of stuff. We were having a conversation about different types of coffee at one point, and Winona Ryder was talking about how she drinks a lot of water during the days. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, "Oh my word! Like, where am I right now?" We recorded at the Warner Brothers Leavesden Studios. Just outside Watford. It's where they do the Harry Potter tours.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the whole experience, being picked up from the train station, being taken in this, really swanky car, had my own trailer. And then when you're going around the different sets as well, you're going in a buggy. It's just like, it's what you would dream it would be. And it was absolutely amazing.
You're no stranger to that industry though, but it's the scale which is the difference, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I put up a post on my social feeds from Brum to Beetlejuice, because the first thing I did on TV was CBeebies Brum, and that's still showing on YouTube at the moment. A short period of time. It was on the iPlayer as well, and I was able to show my children, so that was quite cool. If anyone checks it out, it's on YouTube. Just look for the Stolen Necklace episode. But to see me coming from that to where I am, in this film, and like I said, it's it's a small little part, but it's something, and I am very, very proud, and I'm very thankful to everyone really that's helped me get to this point, which is obviously first and foremost my family, my wife, my sister especially, Bindi, who took me to all my drama classes in Birmingham when I was growing up. My agency, Red Talent Management, big shout out to Rob, to Connor, to the team, to Kerry. They've been brilliant, and I've only been with them for 3 years. So, like you mentioned, I was doing work in schools, which I still do on the side. But I was with a company and working 14 years, and it was 3 years ago during the pandemic we switched to doing things virtually. And my wife had a chat with me. She said, "Look, this is great, but it wasn't your dream, was it, when you first started acting?" I said, "Yeah, it wasn't. I wanted to do film and stuff." And she said to me, she goes, "Look, we're okay at the moment. If you're ever going to have a crack at it, go for it now." And she gave me that green light. Within, I don't know how many weeks it was, but I got myself Rob at Red Talent, the agency. And then I got myself on a Sainsbury's advert. And then from then, it's just been like, I've been doing really, really well, touch wood. I had a tricky year this year. I've got really close on several jobs, just didn't get over the line. But prior to that, I've been in adverts now for IKEA, which is showing, Sky Bet, Argos, part of their Christmas campaign. Aldi, I'm in their advert, which is still showing in Europe at the moment. That's quite a funny one. Mm-hmm. That's a really, really funny advert. I'm doing dancing and all sorts on that. You'll see it on my social media. I'm on Instagram and on Twitter at Rupi Lal. It's been such a whirlwind of a year, and I've got myself a YouTube show now as well. So me and my good friend Dan, we've got the Rupi and Dan show on YouTube. We've got comedy sketches. We talk about films, TV. We're big wrestling fans as well. So all that kind of chatter is all there on our show.
The important thing is you're having fun with it, and this is now a slight diversion into more of an area you're much more interested in. But equally, it's all about making a living, and there's lots of jobbing actors out there, it is difficult every job you go to. We representing the Midlands in a proud way, and nice to see you doing what you do. And so I haven't seen the first film yet, so I've got to. I wasn't going to the cinema when that was out a few years back, so I've got to catch up with that, and then I want to see the one that with technically my mate Rupi Lal in it.
Oh mate, you're gonna have to let me know when you watch it as well. Like I said, I'm at the very, very end. If you want to see the first one, it's on Netflix at the moment, which is great. So if anyone's got Netflix, catch it there. But the great thing about the sequel is you don't have to have seen the first to watch this, because I think obviously with Jenna Ortega in there's going to be a lot of younger fans coming to watch this film. Maybe because of her as well, because of her popularity being on Wednesday on Netflix. And I think if you haven't seen the first one, you can still see the second and enjoy it and still get kind of caught up in what happened.
So worth checking this one out. And any other projects we can't talk about at the moment?
No. Like I said, it's been a tricky year. There's been so many adverts and shows that I've auditioned for, and with the audition process, it tends to be. I mean, with Beetlejuice, it was a self-tape, So what they do nowadays, especially if you're outside of London, which I'm based in the West Midlands, they tend to give you a short little script. They ask you to record it yourself. Some actors dread doing this. I absolutely love it. I really enjoy it, because it's work at the end of the day. Yes, you're not getting paid to create the self-tape, but I find it like work. You're playing, you're an actor, so I enjoy trying to envisage it myself and creating the self-tape. Once you send the self-tape off, if they like what they see, then they'll invite you to a recall audition. That one, they might give you a small nominal fee to get there, to be there, sorry. If you're outside of the London, it's a little bit tricky because obviously you got to get to London, and that can be pricey with train fares and things like that. At the recall, you might be in front of not only the casting director and the director, but also what they call the clients. So if it's a commercial, for example, you'll have people from, for example, like in the IKEA advert, you had people from IKEA. When I did Confused.com a couple of years ago for the Emmerdale, what would you call it, idents, when they were sponsoring it. Again, you had the team from Confused.com watching on a couch. And when I was performing to camera, they were laughing. I was having up the Brummie accent. So then when you leave the audition, you think, oh, I've got a chance here. But like I said, this year, I've got to that point. I just haven't got over the line with a few kind of big ones, which I would love to have got. But it's like that for actors. Like I said, I've had a really good span of 3 years where I've been doing really, really well. Hopefully it will continue. But also, like you mentioned, for actors, it's hard to find work in between. But I've been really fortunate. There's 2 companies that I work for where I go into schools and do educational work.
I know you will want to carry on doing that whatever happens, even if, next step, big Hollywood movie or a Netflix series. Hopefully. I know Rupy's still going to be doing his thing, training in schools, because that's where you get good positive feedback straight away, and you're inspiring people.
Yeah, I love working with young people. The reactions are so honest as well, and you get so much humor out of them, and it's like being a game show host. That's the way I kind of treat it. I use a lot of humor and I'm very, very energetic as well when I'm performing. So, because the last thing you want to be is boring. But the work with Freshwater Theatre, it's all about the Great Fire London. So I do a session where we time travel back to 1666. I do a session about the toy museum as well, where they get to imagine making their own toy. And then there's a company called Open View Theatre as well, and Open View Education. I do work on anti-bullying and cyberbullying. So it's it's educational, but it's fun at the same time, which I think is the best combo whenever you're working with young people.
Absolutely, and may your work continue on big screens, small screens, screens in people's pockets, and wherever else you happen to pop up, whether it be the side of a bus or on a billboard. I know you'll be giving it 100%, whatever happens. Where do we find you on the socials?
So I'm at Rupy Lal, spelled Rupill. Let me repeat that. So at Rupill. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. You can see the commercials that I'm in. You can see the videos and things like that. And if you go on YouTube, have a look for the Rupy and Dan Show. It's on the Dan Network. Like I said, it's a new thing. I've never done a YouTube show before. But me and Dan, who is also a father, me and our children have started primary school last year. So that's how we met. And it was so weird. We just realized we had so much in common. And it wasn't until we started. It was like our guilty pleasure about wrestling. As soon as we started talking about that, we realized we're really, really big fans. And then Dan had this idea of having a YouTube show, a podcast. And I said, look, I've got a lot of time on my hands at the moment, so I'd love to do it. We're big fans of Goodness Gracious Me as well. So our sketch show is reminiscent to that. There's a lot of sketches which are not similar, but it's that kind of South Asian British humor. Yeah, and it's in there. So hopefully, if you get a chance to watch it, enjoy and let us know what you think.
Check it out. Have a look. Rupy Lal is the man you're looking for. Rupill. See, I can spell his name, even if he can't. All the joys. He's used to seeing it in lights now, you see. Unless it's written down on the side of a building, he doesn't want to know.
It was bad to see in the end credits for Beetlejuice. That was the one moment I was looking for, and I just couldn't believe it was there.
Rupy, you are an absolute star. Always good to speak to you. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again soon, whether it be on screen or real life.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thanks so much, mate.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 795 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.